our guest tonight, Sergeant Mark Tappan. Now, you're still a sergeant, I believe, correct? It wasn't you.
Yeah,
who
they
retired.
they let me keep it. Correct.
Oh. Mattis, the canine dog we had on the show. You were our last in-person guest. Do you know this?
No way. I didn't know that.
I'm
I feel
right
honored.
about that. Aren't I, Steph? Am I right about that?
No, I think you are right.
Yeah.
That's why it was like extra special. That was the last, and it was such a, it was such a great time watching you and Mattis do all your tricks and stuff. It was just a blast.
And now you have a best-selling book, best-selling children's book. It's pretty awesome. You've been on Entertainment Tonight, Good Morning America, Fox and Friends, and now you're on Radio Labyrinth.
Finally, again.
Yes, finally. This is the icing on the cake. Of course, Mattis and Sergeant Tappan appeared on America's Top Dog on A&E, and coming in a very narrow second in the Champions episode. So we're happy to have you back, and we want to hear all about the book and how you came up with it.
The book was, I was actually writing a biography of myself and my relationship with my dog, because that seems to draw people in. And I thought it was, especially in the times that we're in, is the more that we can bring people together, the better. And so that was the point of the book that I was writing. And I was like, this is taking a long time. And I was like, my demographic really, I get all these messages on social media all the time about how kids love to watch my videos over and over again. And so I was like, you know what, maybe if I kind of shortened, abbreviated, and made it into a children's book, since that seems to be the demographic that I'm reaching through social media, maybe I could do that. And it seems to have worked.
Well, I bought one the other day. Now, my wife and I are about 3 weeks away from our first child, and I'm going to be old man dad, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. But I bought the book. So, our child will be born into a household full of dogs. We have 3. And we're going to continue to, get new dogs eventually. But I can't wait. I can't wait to share the book with them. Steph?
I got it too.
I'm sorry.
I read it, but I read it to my dogs. I'll be like, I'm like, why can't you do this?
Yeah.
You guys don't do any of this stuff.
So the number one comment I get if you hold up that book again is people always criticize. They're like, that's not you, because there's no gray in the beard. I told the illustrator, and no gray in the beard.
No gray in the beard.
I did not think of that at all.
Oh, thank you.
The illustration.
My kids did.
The kids are going to be honest, right?
That's right.
It's brutally. But the illustrations are great.
Yeah, I love the artwork.
Oh, I thought Brittany Hassinger, she was so neat. I kind of reached out on social media to see if anyone was interested. And she appealed to me because I saw some of her artwork that was on her Instagram page. And I loved her illustrations, the emotion that was in it, the simplicity. And plus, she's a student right now, and she is super eager, hardworking, and she was just the neatest person in the world to work with. I thought she just captured each scene so well.
Yeah, it really did. It's a great kids book. I mean, it's a great book for anybody, really.
Oh, thank you. Your dogs enjoy it?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, I read them to sleep every night.
And when you take the thoughts that you have and you want to express in a book for a child, how do you condense those into something that is digestible to a kid?
That's a great question. And it was, I have a 6-year-old. And so I try to picture things through her world. And she just astounds me every day with the adventures she has in her own mind. And she loves to talk about Mattis and what he does at work. And so it's pretty much trying to be her person through her eyes and tell the story of Mattis and I to her friends.
That's cool.
She's in a lot of your videos.
Yeah, she's entertaining, to say the least. She's fun.
Yeah.
Your TikTok videos, some of them have millions and millions of views. And I'm just wondering, have you arrested any suspects? And they're like, I know you from TikTok.
That has not happened. I have pulled people over or something like that before, and they're like, are you the cop from TikTok? I'm like, yeah, do you want to meet my dog? So luckily there hasn't been anyone I had to arrest yet.
They still get a ticket though, even if they
so
you got to give them a warning if they recognize.
Yeah, that's like a given, right? If they recognize you.
Unless it's a DUI, then it's like, oh, it's great.
Oh yeah. No, there's limits.
I forget what municipality are you in again?
I'm in Alpharetta.
Alpharetta. Okay. So is that a high crime, low crime? What kind of crime do you experience in Alpharetta?
Well, it's been interesting, and you guys have seen the effects of COVID in your own way.
Yeah.
And the effects for us were property crimes went down, which was our primary offenses were property crimes, people breaking into cars or stealing stuff from stores or whatever. And we saw that go way down because of COVID. And unfortunately, the side effect was people were together more, which meant crimes against persons went slightly up.
Everybody boxed in together and getting on each other's nerves.
Right. Yes, sir. So it's kind of like we always on Thanksgiving, our domestic disputes tend to go up, and that's what COVID really was like a large Thanksgiving with people crammed into the same house, and
oh wow,
yeah, personalities clashing, all kinds of fun stuff.
I don't get that. I've never been at a Thanksgiving dinner in my life where family members started fighting with each other.
You should have came to my family Thanksgiving. I don't remember one where they didn't fight.
Really?
I remember growing up, there was my brother brought home a girlfriend, and I remember her spitting out the salad that my mom made and saying, "I hate blue cheese." And I thought my mom was going to break a chair over her face. It was amazing.
WWE.
That's right.
But he did not marry her, I take it.
He did not.
No.
Well, the last time we saw you, Mattis was, coming in second place on America's Top Dog, and now he's retired. And I was just wondering, did something happen? I mean, did something happen to him that spurred that?
No, it was a couple of reasons, really. One is he's getting up there. He's about to turn 8 this month, actually. And I noticed every once in a while, he's just not as fast up the stairs as he used to be, or he would kind of favor a leg after he ran really fast to do some training or whatever it was. And so I started noticing that. And with my rank, they don't want me to have another dog. And so it was those things combined. And I really want him to enjoy his years as, in retirement and living with us. And our department's really good about that, right? Is if he's starting to show signs that he may be in pain to do the job, then they want to protect his quality of life as well. So it was my decision to say, you know what, just because he is starting to slow down and I hate for him to get hurt, I want to go ahead and retire him.
Well,
so he can live his best life.
I'm glad that you did. I mean, especially over the last year, it seems like we've lost so many canines.
Yeah.
And and canines that were in younger and in better shape even than Mattis. So I'm glad that you took him off the beat.
Do you still have Mattis with you?
Oh yeah, he's giving me the side eye through my door right now.
Right.
He's like, "Why can't I be around you?"
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. He gets to stay with you and live out the rest of his life in a home, happy and not chasing down criminals.
Making TikToks and doing TV and all kinds of fun stuff.
When you say that because of your rank, how does that work?
Well, just so I'm actually, and I was before when I had Madison, he was working with me. I'm a road sergeant, so I'm a supervisor on the road, and I have people that are working with me, and that's my primary function. And Canine was secondary, and so it meant I had a lot more responsibility than all the other road sergeants because I also had to run the Canine unit. And so now it basically, with him retired, I can solely focus on being a road supervisor.
Oh, okay.
And be lonely in the car without my dog.
But you got a puppy not that long ago, did you not?
Yeah, we got a whole house full of dogs. It's actually Mattis's son, Hawk.
Oh.
And then we have Storm in the middle there too, the forgotten child that we never talk about.
Is Hawk being trained to be a canine for the police?
No, not in official duties because he's mine and I don't want to give him away.
Right.
So, but I am training him. He's a smart dog.
Oh yeah.
So
we had a new family move onto our street, and you always know they're new because you see them walking the dog, and you go, "I haven't seen that dog in a while." It's a German Shepherd that they have, and it's a beautiful, beautiful dog. But our bulldog now, and he's never been this way, sees the German Shepherd, and his masculinity is threatened. I mean, he loses it, and he's never lost it before. I mean, we have black labs and other kind of dogs on the street, but this is the one that drives him crazy. So maybe he understands that the German Shepherd is the alpha dog.
That's hilarious, man. I love that. Yeah, and that's true too. Like what you said is like the only way that you knew it was a new family is because you didn't recognize the dog.
Right.
That's hilarious. That's great.
No, it does seem to be like out of most of the breeds, most of the power breeds, German Shepherds are so independent, and you always see their minds working, like they're thinking about stuff. Whenever I would volunteer at the shelter, I have to be honest with you, I didn't get a lot. I would get pit bulls out all day long, all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Pit bulls are easy to read. You know what you got. German Shepherds, they look at you like, I don't know. We'll see. Come on in.
Yeah, I love them. I think, and I love the masculinity, right? The machismo that they carry. And Stephanie, you said it too, right? Is you see their minds working, and that's I think the difference between like a popular breeds in police work are German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherds. And with the Belgian Malinois, you really don't get to see the mind working. They just kind of do it. So it's like unpredictable when it happens. But with the Shepherd, and that's what I like, is they're methodical and they're thinkers, but they're loyal, they're smart, and they're protective. And so you always have to keep that in mind when you're working with them.
The two experiences I had as a child with German Shepherds balanced each other out because my great aunt had one named Pepper. And when you're a little kid, a big barking German Shepherd can be intimidating. But that dog, Pepper, was so docile and friendly once she got to know me. But then this was a state trooper, Pennsylvania state trooper, that my mom is friends with his wife. So we go over to their house. They had a German Shepherd that they kept chained out back. They never, it was never an inside dog. And I got too close to the house, the dog house. And the next thing I know, I'm being dragged by the head to the dog.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I was afraid of them for a long time. I'm not afraid of dogs now. I mean, you're an adult, you know how to treat them. But I was, for the longest time, I wouldn't go near one. I was like, oh, he's going to bite my head. But to get back to the meaning of it, though, it's all about the owner, the training, and not leaving them alone, chained up in the snowy Pennsylvania weather.
Yeah, I mean, chaining a dog, they know that now it fosters aggression.
Yeah,
almost all the time.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've been very intentional about with the dogs in our program is Mattis always has lived in my house and interacts with my kids, and I try to socialize into his surroundings as I possibly can. And so from working in a shelter, that's what's important is you're getting the dogs out and getting them interacting so you don't get an experience like you had, Tim.
Well, again, that's the owner, not the dog's fault. I fully believe that. Same way that our dogs are my mom had a poodle and a peekapoo, which is a Pekingese and a poodle. The same reason they pooped and peed all over the floors because she didn't train them to go outside to go poop and pee. So our house smelled like, that was the thing. My house smelled like awful dog smell for 18 years of my life. And I said, I'm never going to have any dogs. And then I met my current wife. She had 2 dogs when we met. Now we have 3 and I love dogs again. So it's all full circle, but ours are housebroken.
That's good.
Yeah,
they're amazing. And that's one of the things that I love about Mattis, and, the children's book illustrates it, I think, is how they bring people together, right? Is this dog, and why I'm missing having him in the car too. I used to scoff at people that had therapy dogs, but really that's what he's been for me for the last 6 years. And now that he's gone, I'm missing having someone there that they love you unconditionally. They follow you around, the tail wags. All they want to do is make you happy. And they're just, to me, just amazing animals that can do incredible things.
Is he excited when you get home?
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's sad when I leave. He still wakes up in the morning and he follows me to the door and he tries to herd me back in towards his harness. And then when I come home, that's the best. I'm sure it's the same with your dogs, right? Is when you come home, the greeting they give you.
Well, I'd wondered if now that he's retired, has he gotten lazy? Does he just, walk you to the door in his bathrobe with his cup of coffee? And
you bring him his slippers when you get him.
That's right. No, he's still the same. Like he still acts like a puppy. So it's just his body doesn't quite respond. Kind of like me. I still think I'm a puppy.
Do you feel like because he's not getting that stimulation all day long like he used to, does he seem bored?
No, because it's something, once again, that we're super intentional about, that he gets lots of play times with the other dogs. And then if you watch like my TikTok or my Instagram, I'll put out like food problems where he has to use his nose to find food. So I'm always trying to keep his nose and his brain active.
I loved your TikTok the other day where you did the never, the Kevin Bacon dance. Cause you were.
I want Kevin Bacon to see that so bad.
It was
like
so
I've
good.
never wanted someone to do it, but man, that would
Did you
cool.
tag him in it? Did you tag him in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And a lot of people were tagging him in the comments too. So
that's
yeah,
cool.
that was.
What is your TikTok handle so people can find it, and Instagram?
Canine_Mattis. Canine_Mattis is TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Instagram is ADPS_Canine_Mattis.
Well, back to the book, I wanted to say, as far as like you bringing people together for sure, but also, the current climate, the way things have been happening for police officers being portrayed in the media and what have you, a lot of kids, that's all they know is what they're hearing. So, I mean, was that also a thought in your head when you were putting this together as like the message of what you guys do?
100%. And that's from the beginning when I got into Canine. Like that was one of the draws to Canine for me. And I've already said a couple times tonight talking to you guys is the fact that dogs bring people together. And to me, we live in a world where media likes to pit people against one another, and it's good for ratings. And I really think that we're in a world, if we want solutions to all these perceived problems, then we have to talk more and we have to come together more. And so that's the intent behind, like I said, initially getting into Canine was I saw the draw that a dog would have when we went to demonstrations, right? I was in SWAT and I saw people just flock over to the canines. And then starting up the Instagram was the same thing. As I wanted to be genuine. I wanted to be transparent, and I wanted to have fun, because that's kind of how I approach my life in general anyway, and hope that the dogs would bring people together. And it did. And, it led to things like the TV show. And then TikTok was the same thing. And the book was another byproduct. It's like, this is a way that, I can just give an introspective into my life, the motives that I have for what I do. And hopefully people will come together and we can talk.
And a lot of, from my point of view, when I was a kid, we had, again, it's a small town. So we had the town cop. That was what it was. But we had more than one officer, of course. But there was one or two cars, and they patrolled all the time. And you felt secure and safe, and you weren't afraid of them. But you also respected them, and that kind of was ingrained in us, and not beat into us, but just ingrained. This is your local police officer. This is your state police officer, and that's carried with me over the years. When I see a car behind me with, a police car, or if I'm speeding along and I see the car, I'm like, oh, I better slow down. Those are just, they're just natural reactions. And like you said, there's a certain group of people on social media who they exist solely to malign police. And then there's another group, it's dialogue, it's conversation, it's having an Instagram and using it for good purposes, or a TikTok for good purposes. Whereas you're not, talking about society's ills, you're showing positivity and fun and sharing that something that everybody can relate to, who likes dogs and has dogs. So,
absolutely.
I was just going to say this as an example, in my town, the guy kind of went viral. He was just, off the top of his head in his vehicle doing a TikTok. What's wrong with that flag? And I don't know, people can fly whatever they want in their yard. And, whether that's your opinion or not, it's still bringing negativity and not positivity. So I'm babbling. Right. Sorry, but I think you know what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. And that to me is the point, right? Is we all have beliefs.
Right.
But and this is way more philosophical than you probably expected to get with, the guy that does silly talk, Kevin Bacon never TikToks dancing on his Jeep.
We want the deep, give it to us.
Yeah. But it's, in reality, the strength of our nation is in diversity, the diversity of ideas. And when we get pent up on defending why I'm right, we're missing the other people's point of views, right? Because we're only worried about our perspective, and we miss a lot because we all have, Tim, you're talking about your worldview of how you grew up, and there was trust in the police force. So you didn't think anything of, there was a respect, but that's because there was trust.
Right.
And some people don't have that because of different backgrounds.
Right.
And so it's understanding that, respecting it, and coming together, realizing that we don't come from the same place and we have different experiences, and try to be real, but not just immediately pit ourselves against one another, but listen and care about one another.
Yeah, listen and try to understand instead of arguing. Have a conversation. Oops,
Yes.
sounds like mom is home.
The dogs are letting you know.
Oh yeah.
And I was gonna ask you though, have you noticed a shift in like the way people treat you now that you don't have Mattis when you're out on patrol?
Oh yeah. Especially when I have him out, because people don't talk to police officers, but when you have a dog, it attracts, it builds that bridge. And so it's definitely, I'm back to being solo unless they recognize me from like social media. And
right.
which case, you know, a bridge is built.
Well, tell people where they can get the book. The book is My Dog Mattis, and it is by Sergeant Tappan. And I can't read the name again. Libby
Hempin. That's my sister.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, she's got the brains in the family, so so we definitely got her involved. So yeah, I wrote it. It's on Amazon. It's on Kindle, and actually the Audible should drop any minute. And it's kind of cool. The Audible, I went to the studio and had a mic much like yours, Tim, that was just super high quality. It was unbelievable, but they got me reading the book, and then they got Mattis doing some sound effects in it. So like you hear his sniffing and his panting and chewing on a ball and all kinds of neat stuff.
Now that would be great.
That was pretty cool.
Too, especially you know if somebody has is vision impaired or even just like can't read yet, like a younger child that can't read yet. That's amazing. So they can actually hear the dog. That's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was neat too that they used his, because they're like, oh, we can find a dog sniffing. I'm like, I can make him sniff. And they're like, really? And so we got him to do it. And
that's awesome. Well, we love having you on here. You're one of our favorite guests. And we are very glad that you're safe and Mattis is chilling at home and enjoying his retirement. I'm jealous. It's got to be hard not to be able to get to hang out with him all day at home. I know I can't. I say all the time, if I was rich, I would just stay home with my dogs all day and my husband, but my dogs, I would love to be all day.
Are
100%.
Are you able to go out and do signings and bring Mattis and chill out and do autographs and stuff?
Yeah, he's my dog now. And once again, from the beginning, I've always tried to socialize him. So he's good around people. He's good around kids. So actually I have a book signing up on the Avalon and Alpharetta. So if you're around in the area, come on by and say hi. We'll sign your book. May 16th, and I'm not sure the time.
All right.
But May 16th, Avalon.
Shoot us
Mattis will be there, and I'll be there.
You shoot us the time if you get it. That way we can put it in the notes or whatever.
Yeah, we'll put everything in the notes.
I'm definitely going to try and come out and get my book signed.
Oh, definitely, you have to.
Thank you for taking the time and coming on. Like I agree 100% with Steph. We love having you on, and anytime you have something you want to talk about, just shoot us a message. And best of luck and everything. And if you pull me over in Alpharetta, I'll let you give me a ticket.
Oh, Tim, I appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, man. It's so good to see you again.
Thanks, Stephanie. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.